Today on City Wrestling Radio, fallout from the Raw after WrestleMania. Drew Gulak disappears from NXT, and AEW is all in on airing backstage footage. All this and so much more this week on City Wrestling Radio. Welcome back to City Wrestling Radio. It is April 10th, 2024. I'm your host, Corey Smith, being joined, as always, by the big Matt Daddy you wish you had in your life. I don't know. I'm just trying to extend it. Mr. Jose Oseguera.
Hey, how's everybody doing? How are you doing, Mr. Smith? I'm a little WrestleMania hungover.
I am a little mania hungover. I'm not going to lie. This whole week, we've been, kind of show after show after show after show. All of our mania reviews are up. See how we did. Compare our predictions to the reviews. And also, we'd have our WrestleMania 10 retro review up there online. So go check all of that out.
It's a really good show.
But even just like as a fan, I took the weekend off from work. Not going to lie. I didn't tell my work why I was taking the weekend off. I was just like, hey, I need the weekend off, and asked for it in advance. But still, I was just trying to find time to like live my life, do just one thing the weekend. It was almost impossible. Yeah. It's not a huge secret. Well, it might be because people might not see it because I wear a t-shirt. Maybe I should be shirtless on camera more, but I work out, I try, going to the gym at least, 4 to 5 times a week. But even going to the gym on Mania Saturday was a little hard with like NXT Stand and Deliver, Bloodsport the couple days before Mania. Like, good luck trying to do that and like making, if you want to have some sort of big Mania platter, it's like the Super Bowl. You have to invest all day into it.
You do. Yeah, you do. I got my DVDs out of the closet, my DDPY.
There you go.
So there you go. I'm getting back into it too. Come on, DDP, help me out.
Well, hopefully you were able to fit that into your Mania weekend, but
I was. There's only 30-minute workouts, so I was able to get something in.
Does he say, are you going to feel the bang?
Oh, he does it all. Yeah. He actually has a move called the Diamond Cutter.
Did I ever tell you my Diamond Dallas Page story?
Yeah, I think you may have, but please indulge.
Well, I guess I have to now. So it was like Super Brawl or just one of those Cow Palace shows back in the day, and they were doing meet and greets in the back, and like in the back of the Cow Palace, and they had and it was like adjacent to like they were having a gun show at the same time, but also a wrestling show in the main hall. So it was like wrestling guns and wrestling autographs. Perfect and Americana.
And books on the outside, yeah.
And so I somehow wandered in there and I saw Diamond Dallas Page, who was the United States champion at the time, taking pictures. And I just stood in line and I was just like, cool. You stand in line. Cool, dude. And DDP's like, where's your ticket? And I'm like, ticket. And like, he explained to me, he's like, all these people paid for their pictures, like they I was like, well, how much is it? He goes, $25. And I go, I think I had like a $5 bill. I don't want to say he took the $5 bill.
Yeah.
I don't exactly remember, but he took the picture. He either took the $5 bill, so gave it to me at a discount, or just let me take the picture. But like, it was one of those moments, like, where like the whole point of wrestling is to like make people like make memories with people. And like that will stick in my head my entire life.
Mm-hmm. So much so that you don't remember if you paid a fee or not.
Good stuff. It was just that it was the fee,
Yeah. It was the fee that's how you learned that you had to pay a fee when you get autographs. But you don't remember actually paying or not paying. So because the memory supersedes the fee.
Everyone was doing free autograph, like Steve Mongo McMichael. I remember he did a free autograph. That's what it was. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, cool. Let me go. Steve Mongo, he had no one in line for him. DDP, the line was like. But I held the old US title. That was cool.
Cool. Yeah.
So, but we're not here to talk about my nostalgic memories of days that are foregone. We're here to talk about wrestling and all the stuff happening this, at least past couple hours, because man, Like I said, we've been doing show after show. So let's get right into it. We will get into Monday Night Raw, but I do want to get into a couple other things before we get into that. This week on NXT, apparently Drew Gulak's name has been removed from the No Quarter Catch Crew's entrance video. This comes after former WWE Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey accused Gulak of misconduct backstage. I don't want to say sexual misconduct. I know what she's trying to imply. Okay, what she's implying is that it was sexual misconduct, and I'm not defending anyone. I'm not taking any side either way. But I don't want to sit here and say, oh, allegations of sexual misconduct, because it makes it sound just so much worse than it could be, you know?
Yeah. Let's just say that he is accused of entering her no square.
Correct. Because during a Ronda Rousey interview on News Nation last week, Rousey specifically mentioned an incident where Gulak was pulling on the string of her sweatpants as he walked down the hall. Rousey later said she confronted Gulak over the incident. Said it was like, I was like, if I ever see you putting your hands on another woman like this or doing anything to me like this ever again, we're going to have a problem. Sorry, just Ronda Rousey, man.
Is this during the incident or after the fact?
Apparently, this was like right after the fact.
Okay.
Like, this was like, he was like, hey, they allegedly pulled the strings of her pants. And then she went up and like, slammed a door open, cornered him in a room. And he was like, I'm glad you brought it up to me and you didn't go to management about it. Thank you so much for a second chance. And then she said, you know what? If I ever see you do that to another woman, I will beat your rear end. And like, I don't know, like, look it again. I said this before. This whole situation to me coming out after the fact that Vince was removed, after the fact that Vince has left WWE, after the fact that all these other allegations came out, and while Ronda has a book coming out, it just it seems a little coincidental, if you ask me.
It does, especially when you're acting so tough. I got in his face and I told him, well, if that's the case, then why didn't we say something earlier? Yeah.
Exactly. And I get, like, people say, like, well, why didn't she say something when it happened? Like, if she was really a problem for her, then, like, well, sometimes do you say something at work all the time? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there might be something at work. Like, okay, if you see one of your coworkers just all of a sudden, like, you're working a culinary thing and all of a sudden you see someone go, get a little sugar in their nose,
yeah,
they're a good coworker. You're not going to sit there and be like, hey, there's some nose candy going on. Well, no, but when things get out of control, you might be like, oh shit, it's getting out of control now.
Yeah.
Well, I saw something a long time ago. Why didn't you say something a long time ago?
Well, wasn't that big of a deal? Like, oh, yeah, I get you. And I'm getting in, I'm treading some really bad waters right now. But
it's okay, man.
For the sake of argument, I'm gonna say usually or generally speaking, being quiet is because or not saying something is because you feel intimidated, because you don't want to be retaliated against. According to this report, Ronda had no issues with that.
There was no intimidation.
Yeah, she was the one doing the intimidating, it looks like.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So take it for what it's worth.
But do you think taking his name off? So, like I said, his name was removed. No Quarter Catch Crew came out to the ring. His name was removed from the video package. It no longer says Gulak on it. Do you think this is a smart move for NXT?
NXT better than I do. I watch it here and there. Gulak? Is anybody really clamoring for Gulak?
Well, that's the thing, is like, that's why I think this was a smart idea.
Yeah, honestly, was this like even like a happy coincidence for NXT? Oh, phew.
No, I mean he was kind of involved in the No Quarter Catch Crew stuff. With was it with the other guys? Was it Patrick Dempsey? Not Patrick Dempsey. Anyway, Clint Dempsey. Anyways, but yeah, like, I don't know. Okay, I think it's a smart idea because he's not The Rock. He's not, a top name in the company, to where if you just remove his name for a while, like, it'll
blow over.
It'll blow over. And honestly, though, it's smart as a company if he really did do something and, like, that kind of sucks that they're trying to protect him.
Yeah.
Because they haven't let him go.
Mhm.
His name's just not appearing on the Titantron anymore. So
Some disciplinary action is good. It's better than no action. So good on them, I guess.
yeah. Well, we'll see if this is disciplinary or if it's just waiting to see if things will blow over. So
Yeah.
speaking of things not blowing over,
Oh.
Tony. What are you doing, boy? Okay, so Tony Khan last week during AEW Collision, which everyone watched this week because it came on after Mania. So if you didn't get your first 8 hours of wrestling in at the beginning of the day, you still had another hour to watch at 11:30 p.m.
Really late. Yeah.
I think it came on supposed to be directly after Mania.
Yeah.
But anyways, I still haven't even watched it. But the news was released that apparently the Young Bucks will air backstage unaired footage from All In during AEW Dynamite this week. Tony Khan says the Young Bucks have good reason to air the backstage footage. On Saturday's episode of Collision, it was revealed that they will, like I said, quote, present package footage from AEW All In and will discuss for the first time on this. Khan told Sports Illustrated that the decision to air the footage is, quote, based on putting the best show forward or the best show for AEW, as well as driving interest for Dynamite and our Dynasty pay-per-view on April 21st. Khan also added, AEW has a great track record on delivering what we advertise, and it is real footage. The Young Bucks will show backstage footage from All In, the most important event in AEW history, the world holder for the most tickets ever sold for any wrestling record, over 81,035 total. Jesus Christ, Tony. He's a promoter. I'll say that. Yeah. And then it was an important night at backstage as well. He continued, the decision to air the footage is based on putting the best show for AEW as well as driving interest for Dynamite. I already said that. Justin Barrasso wrote that Khan was guarded regarding specific content that will air on Wednesday. However, Khan teased the footage could play a role in the Bucks' ongoing rivalry with FTR. Khan says the Young Bucks are wrestling for the World Tag Team Championship at AEW Dynasty against the longtime rival FTR. The rivalry is one of the most significant ever in AEW, and there is good reason why the Young Bucks are showing the video. It's important that the Young Bucks explain the reason why this is relevant going into Dynasty. It should be another must-see part of a great show on Dynamite. Wow, that's a lot to take in there. A lot of quotes.
Yeah.
Okay, so where do I start here? This is just, I think this is going to be all around going to backfire on AEW because, okay, this can't possibly be the CM Punk footage, can it?
It's 100% the footage. 100%. But Tony got the interview that Punk did this weekend for Mania weekend.
Last weekend. Last week.
Oh, I just choked him a little bit. I just did a little bit. I had to go and do this stuff. And then calling Tony Khan the clown and all this stuff. Tony Khan has the receipts. If I were him, I'd pull those receipts too, especially if they come off being very, very favorable to your side of the argument. He tried to play the high road. No. I'm not going to show none of these things. I'm going to keep it closely to my vest. CM Punk through the first hit, through the first punch, but literally and figuratively.
But how can this benefit AEW? Like that's just what I don't get, because
I know
how.
Super heat on the Bucks. This is how they're going to portray it. They're going to show the video and they're going to do like some really heelish, lamey background vocals, or like ADR, some dialogue in the back. Oh, look at me, I'm Mr. Punk. Watch out, Mr. Jungle Boy. And Jungle Boy's like, oh, you're not gonna do anything to me, Mr. Punk. That type of comedy shtick.
Yeah.
And apparently, Jungle Boy's coming back or Jack Perry's coming back, and he's going to be a major heel. And it makes sense if he joins the Young Bucks and they start a new elite with Okada.
Well, I mean, yeah, they already have the elite going now with
Yeah.
Okada. I could see Jack Perry becoming part of that, the new kind of all rich elite.
Mhm.
It's just everything I'm reading in here. Not one thing was mentioned about like other wrestlers. Nothing was mentioned about an incident. Nothing was mentioned about
Mm.
CM Punk. Nothing was mentioned. It's just on and on. It's just totally like, we're going to air footage from an event. You know what we're talking about. Wink,
Sure,
wink, nudge, nudge.
but they promised not no bait and switch.
But they're
And
not. But is it a bait and switch if they're not even baiting us? If they're just saying, "Hey, we're showing footage from All In backstage," that's not. Is it a bait and switch if they're
that's gonna be the okay, if they do that, that's gonna be the lamest, most boring segment in wrestling history.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, okay, let's take the route that they don't show the footage, right?
Mhm.
Or let's take the route that they show whatever, like, oh, this is us bringing Okada into the building and him signing his contract. This is the greatest night in AEW. Ha ha ha. Okay, going to backfire. People are going to lose. They're going to lose trust in this company.
Oh, yeah,
Flat out.
100%.
Period.
Mhm.
Um. Okay. What if it is the footage?
Mhm.
I just don't get what good is going to come of that. So they show the footage. They show CM Punk punching Jack Perry and kicking or choking out Jack Perry, punching Jack Perry and putting him in a headlock. Pie
Mhm.
facing him is what I heard.
Right.
Is the words I heard. So how is putting somebody that's a top guy in another company on? It doesn't. I heard what you said. It's just, to me, it
Yeah.
still doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Something seems like there's a missing variable here.
Yeah, and I think the missing variable was touched on by, Brian Alvarez. Um, he mentioned that the only way they're gonna show this footage is if he comes off like a bully with a pie face, and then he Jack Perry dodges some punches, and when they tried the guillotine chokehold, he gets out of it really easy, and it shows Punk as being soft, and he has a fight coming up with Drew McIntyre, and no one's
Mhm.
gonna believe that he can beat like a guy who couldn't beat up on Jack Perry. There's no way in hell he can beat up a Drew McIntyre. So he loses a lot of credibility if that's
Or
the way the video is portrayed.
and another thing about it is that, apparently Tony Khan did say something like, "I was scared for my life that night." Apparently, that didn't. Now we're getting word that that didn't happen in this incident. So before,
Yeah,
when
we may
Punk
not
was
get that.
fired,
It might be that part might be edited out. Yeah.
see, here's the thing though. When Punk was fired, the story went, he went after, he had a fight with altercation with Jack Perry. He went after Tony Khan. Tony Khan was the most afraid he ever was in his life. Now, what we're getting the story is now there are two separate incidences. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
And it just seems weird to me. Like, something's not adding up here. It seems like two people are just going back and forth and
yeah.
having huge egos, which it's the world of pro wrestling. So
Mhm.
what do you expect?
Yeah.
But like I said, something's off here.
Yeah.
So
One more report that I read was that this is the same footage that Brian Danielson viewed.
yes.
And he also recommended that CM Punk be terminated because of this footage. So my favorite tagline, TBD, to be determined.
So what's
We'll
funny?
find out.
I was thinking about that too, because apparently, like, Punk didn't really like, Punk was like saying, "Just fire me." Like, he was saying fire
Mhm,
me to Tony Khan for a few times. So, like, I wonder if people on that committee were like, "Yeah, he doesn't want to be here. Fire him. Fuck it."
mhm.
You know what I mean?
True, true. Yeah, good point.
And not giving it kind of that much of a thought.
Mhm.
So I don't know. But I'm
Yeah.
wearing my CM Punk shirt, so there you go.
Oh,
Take
look
that
at
for what
you.
you will.
Yeah, Mark.
Hey, I got this for, what did I get this for? Valentine's Day? I
Dude,
think
we all
that.
mark out for the business. We all mark out. That's why we're here.
Yeah, I know. I know. I I did something weird the other day. I approached a man in the bathroom at the gym, and it was weird. So, how you see somebody in the wild wearing a wrestling shirt, you kind
Mhm.
of want to acknowledge them,
At
but
least
then
a
you
little.
also don't want. Yeah, yeah. And it was like this guy around like he's probably like 18, 19. He was wearing like an old school NWO Wolfpack shirt. Like it had like the different guys on it.
Oh,
Like I
cool.
think Sting was just in color.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, hey man. And he didn't look at me. And I was like, hey man. And he just looked at me and I just go. And he goes. But then I walked out and I was like, oh, I was just approaching a younger man in the bathroom. Like they talked about his clothing.
You did a gang sign.
That's and I threw up gang signs in the bathroom, like, hey, what's up, man? Like you drop soap or what? Like, I don't know, man.
Oh my god.
Anyways, let's get into Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
It's a Raw after WrestleMania, and boy, oh boy, the show felt longer than
it was those first
Mania.
50 minutes that we spent.
45-minute promo. Well, I guess combined promo between Cody Rhodes, Triple H, The Rock.
3 promos, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it started out. Triple H came out to the ring. He thanks all the fans for the greatest WrestleMania of all time. H then introduces Cody Rhodes to the crowd. He comes out with the title. And I will say this, that title looks a little big on him. It makes him look a little small. It looked perfect on Roman. Roman's a big dude. Cody's a little smaller. I think they need to scale that belt down for him. Or if they're going to get a new belt, like if they're going to bring the winged eagle back, like I've heard rumors of, then do that soon, because this belt, like, it looks like he's carrying something that's almost bigger than his head. It is bigger than his head.
It is bigger than his head, yeah. And it looked damn good on Rock.
It looked fine on Rock, yeah. Rock eventually comes out to the ring. He says Dusty and his father, Rocky Johnson, were close friends, and The Rock's favorite wrestler actually was Dusty Rhodes, and that Dusty would be proud of The Rock for what he did at Mania. He goes, well, I know my father wouldn't be proud of me for the things I did to you, Cody. He tells Cody that he's like, I don't care, though. He tells Cody that he has to ride off into the sunset for a bit, but when he comes back, championship or not, he's going after Cody Rhodes. Or he didn't say that. He said, I'm coming back for you, Cody. So he didn't say, I'm coming back to come after you, Cody. I'm thinking like there might be some sort of team up in the future. You know, some Rock and Cody match versus, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know,
no,
Bronson Reed and Baron Corbin. I don't know. Let's see.
Probably not, but yeah.
Rock then said, then there was like this weird moment where Rock, did the championship switch happen before the present, or was that after?
What do you mean? Oh, no, it happened. The championship switch happened before.
Okay, yeah. So
this is awkward.
Yeah. So Rock then asks, he goes, Cody, I've held every title in this business. I love championship belts. Can I hold that title? And
except
everyone's like, no. There Cody goes, okay, well, as long as I can hold your title. He's like, as long as I can have collateral, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it did come off like I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Yeah, I'll show you 20,000 fans that thought it was weird.
And even the fans started chanting in the crowd, this is awkward.
Yeah, and it was.
It was very awkward.
Yeah.
I don't know why Rock just wants to hold another man's title.
Yeah, and it's weird. You know, somebody on X actually brought up some old footage of Cody dashing Cody Rhodes after The Rock was introducing the title.
Yeah.
And he shows up and he goes, I want a bird's eye view of this title that you're not going to hold, or something like that. Paraphrasing, right? But it looks like Cody did the same thing in the past. Kind of. Not as creepy.
So then they trade titles back. I do love how The Rock puts it around his shoulder and he's like holding it like, oh, this is nice. And Cody's just like holding the other. He's like, okay.
Can we trade now?
Can you give me mine back, please? Mine's a lot nicer. Like, I know yours is from Muhammad Ali. It's like Widow, but diamonds on that one. So
I kind of need that one.
Mine now. Give me. So then The Rock says, Cody, I have something for you. Open your hand. And he gives him something in his hand. And nobody knows what it is. He doesn't say what it is. He tells Cody that you don't even have to open your hand to know what it is.
It's a key to his heart.
But don't ever break my heart again, Cody.
Okay. So, well, everybody's asking the same question. What did he give him? What did he give him? My question is, when did Cody break his heart?
Well, getting him out of the main event at Mania, maybe.
Yeah, it was in Las Vegas when he was like, "F that, it's my match."
Exactly.
Because they
That's
were
what I'm
buddy
thinking.
buddy. They were buddy buddy when they did the whole, switch, right?
Yeah, when they did the whisper in the ear.
Yes, yes. Now we need to know what he whispered in the ear. When did he break his heart? And you know what's in his pocket? It was the original watch that his dad sold to the pawn shop. Rocky found it somehow, bought it.
No, oh, that's a legit story though. You heard this?
Yeah, yeah.
So Nick Khan, Triple H, and Rock all apparently tracked down the watch that
No,
Dusty
no, no, no.
sold.
They bought him a similar watch.
No,
It was the actual watch.
apparently it was the actual watch
I don't
that
believe that.
that Dusty. That's what they're saying.
Okay,
They're
that's
saying
totally
it's
kayfabe.
that's what they're telling inside sources.
Mhm.
So it is what it is, but
Okay.
they said they found the actual watch that had the engraving on it. And this was about a decade ago. So it wasn't like 20, 30, 40 years ago, because this was, I guess, when Cody wanted to go to acting school and his sister had to have something to be paid for. So that's when he sold off the watch about a decade ago
Oh, it had to be
to
longer
pay
than a
for that.
decade ago. 2014? Had to
Let's
be a little
see.
bit before that.
Okay, decade plus.
Yeah.
Decade and a half, let's
He was
say.
definitely booking NXT a decade ago.
So, yeah, 2012. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe just hand him a bag of weed.
There you go, little baggy.
He's
Little
like,
baggy. Go
here
calm
you
down.
go, brother.
You know what it is just by feeling it. I know you know.
This is Rick's. This is from Ric Flair's line. the Woo brand cannabis.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, but like I was saying, I find it more interesting when he got his heart broken and what he whispered that night.
Yeah. Well, apparently
I have more interest in that. Yeah.
We're getting that Mania backstage behind the scenes documentary on Wednesday. So
Behind the curtain or something? Yeah.
we'll
Oh
see
no,
something there.
counter programmed the Dynamite.
Oh no, what are we gonna do?
Aha, it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube TV or just YouTube?
What? The behind the series?
Yeah.
Or behind the curtain? I think that'll probably be on Peacock, right?
No, they said YouTube.
Oh.
So I don't know if it's on YouTube TV or if it's a YouTube just regular.
I feel like when they're fighting AEW and WWE, I feel like, AEW is taking these big swings at WWE and like, yeah, what? And then WWE is just like, yeah. Like, okay, oh, we're gonna put a YouTube show on against you guys. Whatever, it's fine.
This is gonna be on MTV Plus.
Yeah, it's fine. We don't care. You guys can air whatever footage you want, backstage, front stage, side stage, whatever. Then we go into our first match of the night. We have Ilya Dragunov debuting on Monday Night Raw, defeating Shinsuke Nakamura. This was largely a showcase match for Dragunov, who has declared his candidacy for the WWE draft.
Find someone else.
Find someone else.
Find someone else to beat, not Nakamura. Nakamura's AEW bound as soon as that contract's up.
I don't think so, man. I honestly think Nakamura is one of those guys. Like, he's going to do he's going to do what he can to be good, but I don't think his goal is to like be the champion. His goal is not to be the greatest of all time, because he's already done that in New Japan. I think his goal now is to make that money, put on good matches, help the future, and also go surfing when he can, because that guy loves to surf.
Yeah. How many pins does this guy have to eat though?
Well, I'm sure
a super losing streak.
I'm sure we'll get a video package for Ilya Dragunov from Shinsuke saying, Ilya, this is your nightmare.
Oh my God. Yeah.
This is your NXT nightmare.
Damn it. We're going to recycle that again. So yeah.
He did it twice.
Ilya's definitely going to get drafted to main roster, but he's their champ. He's NXT's champ. How are you going to do that?
Well, that's the thing that confuses me, because the whole thing about okay, so in my opinion, Trick and Carmelo should have been for the title. You know what I mean? I think Carmelo should have had the title going into that event, and Trick should have won it off him. It would have felt better. It would have made more sense. But a lot of people were saying like, oh, we can't do that because Trick's going to be coming out to the main roster very soon after that. We don't want to have the champion pull a champion up to the main roster. So they don't do the switch. Now Ilya is coming up to the main roster, and it makes no sense.
Yeah.
So next up, we have a Judgment Day promo. Damian Priest celebrates his title win. Well, first they get introduced. Damian and Rhea get introduced by the rest of Judgment Day. JD McDonough, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. Which I'm like, damn, Balor's on that level now. Like I know Dominic is not that low, but like Finn Balor's just the first Universal Champion, supporting character. Rhea and Damian Priest get introduced. They come out to the ring separately with their world championships, and they held their titles high. And as they do, R-Truth sneaks up behind them and holds up his newly won Raw tag team title up beside them. Priest yells at him. Priest says he's tired of this. He says he's not going to do this again. And Truth just explains, hey, I wanted to come out and celebrate with you guys. Like, I know we've had this back and forth, but like
I brought the titles back. I brought the
titles back to Judgment Day. And he goes, I want to bring somebody into this group, because if we're all bringing people in, and then all of a sudden the Miz music hits. Miz comes out, and right when the Miz music hits, I'm just like, oh, okay, this segment's over.
Yeah.
Because the Miz just kind of sucks the fun out of everything. You know what I mean? Like, even if he's really good at something, like there's that, what is it? That Snickers commercial. Like, maybe you should have a Snickers. Yeah. The first time it was funny. The second time I'm like, I'm done.
Yes.
100%. And so he comes out. He's like, I don't want to be a part of the Judgment Day. I never want to be a part of the Judgment Day. And him and R-Truth are sitting in the ring, and that's when Finn challenges them for a tag team title shot tonight. But Truth says, we can't face you. There's 3 of us and 5 of you. And he says, there are 3. He goes, yeah, me, Miz, and a man you can't see. We'll take you guys on in a 6-man tag tonight. And, the whole crowd knew exactly where this was going.
Yeah.
Because you hear the gasp. What? A man you can't see?
We get it. It's an internet meme nowadays.
So, Miz thinks it's a little Jimmy. They begin the match without the man you can't see. Miz is looking for a hot tag. Eventually, Cena's music hits. He comes out, and Cena is just like, okay, I get, I mean, like, how I'm trying to think.
He's a character of his own.
Okay, a character when they get old and they try to do the old stuff, like, hey, you want me to do that stuff when I was younger? You can't see me. Oh, throw this into the crowd.
He was definitely over the top when he was waiting for the hot tag. When he was waiting for the hot tag, and he was looking at the crowd like, "Yeah, should I tag in, you guys? Should I do it?"
I mean, if he's doing it for fun, whatever. But like, it's a little corny. But so Miz gets the hot tag to Cena. Cena runs wild. All 3 of them do the Cena comeback, and they get the pin and the win. So.
Hooray! Happy moment.
Next up, we have a Bronson Reed promo. He appears with the Andre the Giant trophy. This is to hype him up for later tonight. And then we get some weird glitch on the screen that apparently says hello.
I missed that.
It was very fast. Very fast. I had to see it, a screenshot of it. But so there was a glitch, and in the bottom it said hello. Uncle Howdy. A lot of people are saying it's Uncle Howdy because if you don't follow the online stuff, there's something called Dreadmore online, or Dreadmere. I think it's Dreadmere, like Nightmare, but Dreadmere. And it's a page by Bo Dallas. Was it Taylor Rotunda? And he talks about like this being kind of his world, how Bray had the Firefly Funhouse. This is his kind of world. And there was a mention of, after an eclipse, after the sun or the moon blocks out the sun, there will be something happening
that will coincide.
And he was even tweeting out like somebody like opened that Firefly Funhouse door, or the door Bray used in his last later segments. Was at WWE World. Somebody opened it and to take a picture, and he tweeted out, it was like, you have no idea what you just unleashed on this world. So I think we're either getting Uncle Howdy. I think we might also get Alexa Bliss, and I think the two, I mean, I don't know, it's up to them, but I think they should work together.
Yeah, carry on the legacy. Let's
Carry on the
go.
legacy. Yep. Next up, we have Rhea Ripley with Dominic Mysterio backstage. Rhea, she tells Dom to handle the Andrade situation. This is when a chair out of nowhere is just launched into Rhea's head.
Dude, just wildly. Oh man, that could have been so dangerous. If
No,
not, it was man.
no hands up, no nothing. It basically didn't. She did not see it coming.
No.
And Liv Morgan appears, beats down on Rhea. So apparently that'll be the next program. So
Mhm.
the one thing about the Raw after Mania I've noticed, and this is kind of every year,
Yeah.
is that you're super excited. You're like waiting for these debuts and the new feuds, and then sometimes you get really let down because the new feud is like Liv Morgan or like Daniel Bryan and Kane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
It's like, oh, we have to wait a year for the
Yeah, and
really
you
good
and you
build up.
yeah, exactly, and you knew that was kinda brewing, because of you expect surprises, and you're like, "Oh, yeah, I remember now. This was
Yeah.
happening 3 months ago." Yeah.
Next up, we have Roxanne Perez defeating Indy Hartwell in another showcase NXT champion match. Uh, I mean, it's Roxanne Perez. Everyone loves her. She's a
Mhm.
great worker. I think she's over the top with her character. In my opinion, when people describe Seth Rollins, I think of Roxanne Perez.
I love them both.
I, Anyways, so this match, Candice trips up Roxanne. Indy isn't happy with this. The ref is distracted. Roxanne rakes the eyes of Indy, hits the pop rocks, the pin, and the win. So,
Yeah, can we already hurry up and just turn Indy heel and her and Candice can go on their merry way and win the tag championships?
who are the tag champ? Oh, Kabuki Warriors.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I guess wait. I guess wait until we get those some faces to win those titles, then we can have Indy and Candice go after them.
Yeah, because yeah, Indy's definitely gonna turn, to, Candice side.
I'm sure people call her Candy. I'm sure Johnny calls her
Maybe.
Candy.
Maybe.
Hey, Candy, can you bring me
Candy.
some bring me a cup of water? She's like, I'm right here. Go get your water yourself. And he's like,
Can you give me some Pop Rocks? Oh,
but
wait.
but like the water tastes better when you get it for me.
I'm gonna start using that. Okay.
Anyways, we have a Sami Zayn promo. He's in the ring. That's when Imperium comes out. They circle the ring, and well, Gable comes out for the save, and yeah, this leads to a match they have in just a couple of minutes. But before we get that, we get a Sheamus. Oh, excuse me, a Sheamus video package for his return.
I'm so excited. I
And
cannot wait for this
I
return.
I do love it. I love it more than anything. Pat McAfee goes, you know what that means, Cole? It's fight night. And Michael Cole goes, I'm so glad I don't have to say that anymore.
Yeah. Man.
Buried.
Yes.
I don't know if it was something for Vince McMahon or because they were because the brawling brutes aren't a thing anymore.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But I
And
felt it was a Vince thing.
I'm sure Michael Cole got sick of it getting yelled in his headphones like, "Oh,
Say it's fight night. Say it's fight night. Say it's fight night. Say it's fight night. He fucking said it again. So I was listening to Chris Van Vliet interview Dustin Rhodes. Just came out this week. And apparently there were some segments in WWE where like he would be producing and
Dustin or
Dustin, yes.
okay.
And Vince and things would fuck up out in the ring. And he said once things get fucked up out in the ring, sometimes it just goes off the rails completely. And then he would get pulled to the side. Vince would berate him afterwards and say things like, you set my business back 30 years. Like,
Jesus Christ.
For like a botch spot. Like,
yeah.
Vince really takes what we say to heart. That's all I'm saying. Like, Vince just like, I don't want that Corey to talk bad about us on that City Wrestling Radio. Dustin, you have to hear about it tomorrow. Damn it.
Set us back 20 years.
He doesn't even get paid for it. It's a passion project. I know. It's crazy.
Oh my God.
Next we have Sami Zayn and Gable, Sami Zayn and Chad Gable defeating Imperium. This is a great match. Chad Gable, Sami, they looked really good together too.
They did.
Not gonna lie. Haluva kick followed by a Chaos Theory to Giovanni Vinci and the pin in the win. Gable getting the win over Giovanni Vinci. So
hooray.
Good on them. Next up, we have a couple of video packages hyping up their spots in the main event tonight. Jey Uso and Ricochet. They
Very
said stuff.
night's main event.
Oh yeah. This entire night.
Mhm.
Next up, we have the GMs backstage, and I don't mean just Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. I mean Adam Pearce, Nick Aldis, and Ava, the NXT general manager, the Rock's daughter.
The Rockstar. And the Rockstar. Check out my eyelashes.
She,
No, for real. Check out my eyelashes. They're really cool.
she's not the best on the mic, but she is getting better. Believe it or not, this is better than what was originally. So
Okay.
but she's on Monday Night Raw now, and I think this is all because of the draft. They're talking about who's going to end up where, and who might wind up on NXT. So, which I don't think anyone has ever really been drafted to NXT, have they?
Not that I remember.
No, I think some people become free agents and then they go to NXT.
Yeah.
But that's when in walks Chelsea Green, and she's irritated. She wasn't involved in WrestleMania. That's when Pierce says, "You go out there and have your WrestleMania moment right now, Chelsea Green." And she gets our match coming up next because it's Chelsea Green getting squashed by Jade Cargill.
Oh, how Jade has improved. Okay, I'm just marrying the internet now. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, that pump kick's looking way better, man. That Jade she does. Whoo!
Ooh,
how she
pin.
does that pin where she licks her fingers.
That had to take weeks to perfect.
Those have to be done in every single Jade, because it's not a Jade Cargill match unless we have those three things.
Yes.
Whatever. I like Jade Cargill.
So do I. She's oozing charisma.
But she is just she has 2 moves.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they look good, but she's turning into the Bill Goldberg of this era.
Yeah.
And you don't.
It's not her fault. It's not her fault. It's just early pushes because people want to capitalize.
But okay, early push. She's been in AEW for a while.
Right.
She's had more training in WWE than she probably had in AEW. She has been formed in this environment, and now I think she might be getting to that point where she's getting too big to evolve. You see what I'm saying? Because once you get too famous, then I think you're not going to learn that much more in the ring unless you seriously scale your stuff, like your appearances back, your position on the card back, because you're at that level because of
your margin of error is so low.
Exactly. So I don't know. I don't know what to say, to her, what she needs to, because I'm not a wrestler. So, but
get your money. It's not your fault.
Yeah, awesome. Get her money. That's great. I would like to see more of her. I would like to see more wrestling from her, and see what else she can do in the ring.
And you know what? In this case, I don't mind a few wear down moves, a little reverse chin lock, a whip to the rope, sleeper hold.
Yeah,
I don't mind
a clothesline, maybe.
Yeah, please, and thank you.
Yeah. Next up, we have Alpha Academy backstage. In walks Sami Zayn. Sammy asks for some alone time with Chad Gable because he wants to talk to him one-on-one. He says, "Hey, man, after trading me for that Intercontinental title match, you said I owed you one, and well, gave you that pin in the match. Looked like I paid you off, didn't I?" And Gable has this look on his face like, what do you? That's not what I. Sami Zayn cuts him off.
We're not square. We're not square because of that.
Sammy cuts him off and said, "Listen, I know what you want, and I would be honored to defend this title against you."
Oh, Sammy, you're the best.
So how is this going to go? Because honestly, I think Gable might win the title.
I think so too. In the meantime,
in Montreal.
You think that soon?
But okay, so it's next week. Their title match is in Montreal.
Emporium, the store. They're gonna.
They had a good winter carnival there. I remember.
Yeah. No, they're totally gonna interfere. They're gonna mess it up for both, and we'll see them maybe at Backlash, if that.
Okay. Oh yeah, and then we'll have a tag team match at Backlash.
Yeah, and Sammy he'll do his French in Backlash. Hello, Francois.
Yeah. J'appelle anglais. That means I don't speak English.
French frites.
One time I had I was at the BART station, and if you're not familiar with San Francisco, listener, it's one of the subway stations that goes all throughout the Bay Area. And I was down there. I was after I got food. I got a burrito. I was about to go home, and some guy comes up, some homeless guy is, and I just looked at him and goes, "Oh, sacre bleu, je n'appelle anglais." And I swear to God, he goes, "Fucking guy doesn't even speak English." And I was like, I win. I won this round. Yes.
I was half hoping he'd be like, "Oh, sacre bleu."
Like, fromage? No, no fromage. Okay, next up, main event of the evening. Jey Uso defeating Drew McIntyre, Ricochet, and Bronson Reed to become the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight title. So before the match begins, Drew gets on the mic and just lets loose. He says, he goes, "Seth, what you and I did last night, it was a moment only warriors know about. But that damn bondage Undertaker, Damian Priest, and his Money in the Bank briefcase." I think what he meant was bisexual Undertaker is what they've been saying online.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they've been calling him.
He didn't want to go that way.
He didn't want to go that way on TV. But, if you're wondering why he called him that, that's why. Mm-hmm. He comes out and he says, he's talking about how the Money in the Bank tarnishes the title and tarnishes anyone who's won the title, which it's not wrong.
No.
Do you felt like this was I felt kind of a face turn for him coming here? Like, I know he just recently turned heel, but I felt like this, he was the heel who was telling the truth.
But he's kind of been on that tip for a while now. He kind of walks that line, and then he always goes heel. And then he'll kind of gain some favor, then he'll go heel again.
But how is he going heel? You know what I'm saying? What's he doing?
By sticking the title in Punk's face. "This is mine. Someone take a picture. I want to hang it on my wall in my bedroom."
Punk talk shit.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Talk shit, get hit. That's what they say in the hood, right?
yeah.
But no. So in this match, Drew McIntyre is about to go for a Claymore on Jey Uso, and dastardly CM Punk appears out of nowhere and just grabs Drew's feet again and prevents him from hitting the Claymore. He gets super kicked by Jey Uso, and then he hits a spear on Drew McIntyre, and Jey Uso gets the pin and the win. CM Punk, man, he's all over the place this week.
Yes.
So
we'll see what happens after tomorrow night. We'll see how the internet wrestling community takes it, then we'll see how mainstream takes it. So to be determined.
We will see. All right. Well, I think that about does it here for us, and that puts a wrap on WrestleMania week.
Ooh, what a week it was! Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Thank you at home for joining us all week. Thank you, Jose, for joining me. Thank myself because I'm amazing. What can I say?
There you go. Beautiful.
Right, we're gonna get out. We're gonna get out of here today for City Wrestling Radio. I'm Corey Smith.
I'm Jose Segura.
And we will see you next time. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.